I don't know why they do that, but
All right, I think we're live.
we're live. Well, welcome to the second annual. It seems like we do these every year. Mormon Lifehacker Live Hangout, and we are here with a lot of good people. One being the founder, the creator, the mastermind of Mormon Lifehacker himself, Tevye Washburn. Say hello, Tevye.
Hi.
Hi. He just got done with dinner. He's happy now.
That's right. I'm in a good mood now. I have food in my stomach.
And then we got. I'll just kind of go through each one of you. If you want to just tell us what you do and why you're joining us tonight, what some of you have developed, and let's see. Are any of you, Tevye? Are any of these the winners of any of the?
Deb is one of our winners, and so is Pat.
Nice. Okay. Well, Mark, why don't you introduce yourself? Tell us where you're from, what you do, and why you're a Mormon hacker.
Yeah, my name is Mark Call, and I live in Orem. I'm currently attending Utah Valley University, and I worked on the Book of Mormon Touch app, which was part of one of the giveaways. It's just a fun, interactive Book of Mormon app for kind of primary age children, and basically just made it because I wanted to provide some great content, for all of our kids that are growing up with all this new technology. I thought it was a great opportunity. So I'm just kind of starting to get into the app, marketplace and so forth, just kind of getting started. So this is kind of my first big app that's been out there now.
Cool. How long has it been out?
We released it just before Christmas, so it's just about been a month.
Nice. Now you're retired, you've quit your job, you're a full-time app maker. Someday, right?
Yes, yeah, someday. That's the plan. I definitely enjoy it. So.
Right on. Cool, and then we'll head up to the northwest. Michael Jensen.
Yeah, so I'm Michael Jensen. I founded LDSScriptures.com. We have a Scriptures app for all the major platforms, and we started even back before apps were even possible on the iPhone, and we were basically the first web app, and then we transitioned into being the first Scriptures app on the App Store, and been having fun ever since. So we have a lot of fun innovating for Scripture study tools and doing a lot of things like that.
So you were even around before the LDS tools came out, right?
Yep.
So they got all their good ideas from you, right?
Well, there are a few copycats out there.
Cool. That's great. And then we have Patrick. You want to introduce yourself, Patrick?
Yeah, I'm Patrick Lynch, and I was the Android winner. So I got the LDS Scriptures app for one. Been using it ever since. I love it. I like the desktop version too. They both work really well, and so yeah, I've been watching what you guys do and just took advantage of being able to be on here tonight.
Nice.
Pat was with us last week and had some great insight into tithing settlement.
Oh yeah, he's definitely a Mormon life hacker. So
you're gonna have to wait till next Christmas season to get the full post because we were a little slow on it this year.
And Deb Smith, you want to introduce yourself? Tell us what you want.
Hi, I'm Deb Smith. I'm in Cold, Minnesota, and I want a year premium to MyHeritage, the family history site. So.
Nice.
Yeah.
So how cold is it in Minnesota right now?
Negative something.
I thought it was cold here in Utah, but
yeah.
And cool. And have you used the MyHeritage much, or what's your experience been with it?
Just started using it, and that's when because I seen the advertisement, and so I put it in. Of course, the premium you can connect with other people that have family histories out there too that are related to yours, and kind of incorporate theirs if they're matching. So, which is nice.
And I assume you were already a family history enthusiast before you won this?
Yeah, yes. And I need to go in there and just kind of rebuild, make sure some stuff that's been done is correct. And so.
Cool. Right on.
Yep.
Well, by way of introduction for myself, I'm Kurt Frankum, and I just like Tevye's wingman in all aspects of life. Now, me and Tevye met. He hates me right now, but it'll be good. Me and Tevye met actually. He started Mormon Lifehacker, and I was starting a blog called Leading LDS at the time, and I had no idea what I was doing. So I saw Tevye knew what he was doing, and so I contacted him, asked him some questions. He's been very helpful through the process, and he's helped me take Leading LDS to world fame, and now I tour and do public speaking. No, I'm just kidding. But no, he's helped me just get a good content up, consistent content on my blog. And basically, Leading LDS is a platform for anybody who considers himself a leader, whether they have a calling or not, in the Mormon world, and discussing leadership topics in the Mormon context. So it's been a fun project. And Tevye, do you want to say anything else by way of introduction, or? Uh-oh, you're muted.
Sorry. There we go. I said thanks for everybody joining us tonight. I'm excited to talk to y'all a little bit and get to hear from you.
Right on. And did you want to address the newsletter emails?
Oh, yeah. We have a new newsletter that we started with these, with the giveaways. And I just wanted to explain what it was real briefly here. Let me see if I can share my screen real fast. Let's see here. So it's right here in the sidebar. What it was is we used to have where you could sign up and it would just deliver our RSS feed to your inbox. But the problem with that is sometimes we do little updates on our social channels and stuff that don't really warrant a post. And so we decided to convert it to a true email list so that we can, if you don't want to follow us on social or whatever, you can do the email, and then we can send out a quick update to the email list and cover those small things that don't actually end up as posts on the blog here. So if you like email, you like stuff in your inbox, go ahead and sign up there. And we only do it twice a week. It only goes out on Wednesday morning and Sunday morning, so you're not going to get like a ton of emails all the time and be being bothered. Even if there's multiple posts, they'll just all show up in one email.
Cool.
And that's it.
Right on. Maybe spend some time. Last time as we did this, there's a lot of questions as far as what Mormon Lifehacker is, and so I assume those on that are with us here on the Hangout know what a Lifehacker is, and but maybe those watching live or later on will be confused by that. So basically, Mormon life hacking or life hacking in general is basically figuring out methods, or I don't know if you call them strategies per se, but little tricks to use in your day-to-day life to make life simpler or to do things in a quicker way and so forth. It's kind of a play off of the Lifehacker, the famous lifehacker.com blog and website, but mainly applied to Mormon life. So in the past month, is there any notable hacks that we've had up or that you can think of, Tevye?
No, pretty much all we've done is the giveaways. That's taken so much of my time that I haven't had time to do anything else. So
Giveaways.
Hopefully some great new stuff coming soon, and Jeff will cover some interesting stuff a little later in the show when he joins us.
Okay.
But we don't. It's kind of related to one of our older posts.
Cool. Well, I guess we haven't mentioned all the sponsors that did the giveaway, and the good way to reason to mention this is that a lot of these are Mormon life hacks. Dev, you want to run through those and?
Sure, yeah. And maybe we can congratulate some of our winners here real quick as well. Through all of our giveaways, LDS Scriptures was great. They gave away a combination. You could choose a mobile app and or the desktop app, or there was some other options there. So we gave away that several times. Daily LDS was one of our sponsors as well. Let me switch back to showing my screen. Daily LDS was one of our sponsors. We had an author, David McKnight, who contributed his novel, Tongue of Fire. And then also Princeton University Press contributed several copies of a book called The Book of Mormon, a Biography. And that was a really good book. I got to read it. I'll probably be reviewing it on one of my other blogs in the future. And really enjoyed it. It's really fascinating because he just takes it and writes like a biography, like you might do of a person, but of the Book of Mormon, and covers its history and stuff, and comes all the way up to discussing how it's printed and the quality of the pages and all that kind of stuff that they send out in the quote unquote missionary edition, you know. So great book there. You can see it right back here. And then I'll go to the next giveaway here. And if any of our sponsors want to jump in or add anything at any point, or our prize winners, say anything about the prizes you've received so far, anything like that, please feel free to. Our second giveaway was all about Android, and Paul Jukes gave us an Ingress invite, which are rare and hard to find. I don't know if Pat wants to tell people what that is, but I'm not going to do it. I haven't played it enough to give a very good description.
Yeah, let's see. The quick version is there's portals all over, basically laid on top of a Google map, and you have the Enlightened or the Resistance factions fighting over those portals, and you can connect them and create links, and if you connect 3 of them, you create fields, and you get points, and you move up your levels as you go as well. So it's a fun game, and actually I had already been playing, so I invited a friend to play with that invite as well, so worked out well for me.
Cool. So you play in the real world, though, that your phone allows you to basically play this game as if these portals and stuff were in the real world. It's pretty interesting, pretty different way to approach gaming. You got to get out and walk around and and stuff like that.
It's fun. I mean, at Temple Square, there's like 30 some odd portals there, so you walk around and half of them are one faction, the other half are the other, and there's always these kind of fights going on. And there's been a couple times where you can tell, like I've pulled up to, in my car, I've pulled up to one, and I've seen another car. I've kind of seen the battle going on between me and this other car over this portal and stuff. It's kind of fun. So, and I've heard stories of people actually running into each other as well and talking about it afterwards. So there's a lot of good side effects from it. You can meet people, and it's also a good way to get out and move around and see all the different. I don't know if you want to say sites, but there are things around you that you may not notice, but like statues and plaques and things like that are all portals. So a lot of times you don't even know they're there, but you go to this portal and all of a sudden you realize that there's a log cabin dating back to settler times right in the middle of the city that you didn't know was there before. So it's been pretty cool.
No, that's great. And then we had a bunch of different apps. Apps by Lyft is what they're called, I think. let's see here. Let me double check myself. Yeah, Apps by Lyft um, they have 2 sing-along apps. We've reviewed them previously. We reviewed the iOS versions, and then also a daily scripture app. LDSdaily.com provided more posters again. We gave away this Kids Care app, is what it's called. It basically allows you to just lock up your Android device so that kids only have access to certain things. It's a great little app. It works really well. I've tried it out, and I just haven't gotten around to writing a review. That's probably one of those life hacks that'll be coming up soon. And then also Bible Maps, which is kind of a duplication of the maps that are included in the LDS scriptures.
You know, along with that, the Bible maps, just speaking in terms of Mormon life hacks, I found a guy down in Alpine, Utah, that he, what would you call it? He's a bookbinder, and he'll bind books or bind scriptures, and you know, just with the canonized scriptures in it. You know, the New Testament, Old Testament, and the triple and everything, and then he takes out all the reference material. And so, and I've always wanted something like that because at church I've got this, I feel like I'm carrying around an atlas, you know, the scriptures with all these things, and I rarely use those references, you know, as I'm at church or those things. And so that app would be great to have, and I'm actually gonna in the process of getting him to do a book binding of just the, you know, just the scriptures and take out the reference material. But then as I, you know, do my personal study or if I'm at church want to pull that up, it's a great app to have to just flip to those maps rather than carrying them around, you know, everywhere you go. So.
Yeah, I hadn't thought about that. And this is wrong. This should say 3. This is our 3rd giveaway. This is our iOS maps and Apps by Lyft. Again, they gave us, or they gave our winners. Can't think of what it's called now. Word Finder and LDS Word Search Daily. These 2 here. And then Mike Kingsley provided an iPad case and also an hour of consulting time for your Mac or whatever. He's an expert and does that kind of stuff.
Michael Kingsley's been messaging me. I guess he's trying to get into the Hangout, but
really?
I guess there's a few links out there. I've got a message from Lee Drew as well that people are going to the wrong one and they're a bit confused. But.
Okay, let's see if we can get Mike on here and he can talk about it himself. In the meantime, why don't we have Mark and then Michael both talk about their apps?
Yeah, so the app that I worked on is called the Book of Mormon Touch, and we started working on it about a year ago. It took a long time to do with school and work, and everybody knows how busy life can be, so it took a while, but finally got it done. Like I said, we released it just right before Christmas, and it is an interactive app for children around the primary age. It's basically when I was growing up, I'd watch a lot of the illustrated stories from, you know, the Book of Mormon, those animated cartoons, and I just thought that there needed to be more of something like that available with this new technology. And so this app is awesome because it's got 100% hand-drawn original illustrations. There's in this first volume, we call it, there's close to 40 pages of illustrations, and there's 3 different ways to read the stories. And the third mode is a build a scene mode, so kids can actually take pretty much all the stickers from the other modes and they can build their own scenes, and that's honestly the mode that the kids have the most fun with, I think. But I think it's a great way for kids to learn about the scriptures and enjoy the stories.
And Mark, did you do the illustration yourself, or?
No, I have 2 brothers that are much more skilled in art than I am, but I did all of the coding and kind of just the project management, and they helped me with the illustrations.
Cool. And maybe explain the scenario. Is this just for kids to kind of a time killer, a good way to kill time that they can just play on, or is it effective during family home evening or during sacrament to keep them busy? Or
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely got enough depth that it does teach all of the scripture stories like this. Basically, in the future, we'd like to release more of the stories. This first section of the app, you could say, covers from leaving Jerusalem up to right before they start to build, when Lehi's family in Nephi builds the boat. So it definitely tells the stories in detail, but the idea was kind of finding that balance where it does entertain the kids, but at the same time, it's got those lessons that the Book of Mormon teaches, about being righteous and choosing to be righteous and those kind of things. So tried to be entertaining and a learning thing at the same time.
Wow, cool.
So yeah, and from what I can tell thus far, it seems like people really like it. We have over 5,000 downloads now between iOS and Android, and so a lot of positive feedback on that, and so we're definitely excited to make more content for it, and just got to find the time to do it.
Yeah, cool. And have you had many reviews on it? Is there anything you've changed with it or updated, or is it just kind of been how you originally created it?
Well, actually, kind of a cool story is we've had a few people message us or rate the app and say that they wish that it was in Spanish, and so I served a mission in Argentina, so I do know Spanish, but not the kind of Spanish that you want your app. You want everything grammatically correct and all that.
Yeah.
And interestingly enough, about a week ago, this random church member, he sends me an email and he says, "Hey, I love your app, and I want to help you translate it into Spanish because I want my children to be able to read it in Spanish."
Nice.
So I worked with him, and literally in like 3 days, he had all of the narration and all the text from the app translated. So that is just about done, and we're going to put out an update hopefully tomorrow or the next day that has the Spanish translation and a few other fixes.
Nice. And then you'll start working on the Swahili version, right?
Yeah. That definitely ranks third in most important languages.
That's cool. That you'll definitely should get a good boost in some downloads with the updated language. So
for sure.
And we got Lee Drew in the house. You finally made it. Sorry for that. There's some confusion. How you doing, Lee?
Good. How are you this evening?
Good. Lee's our honorary family history hacker that we like to call him. Right?
Yeah.
He knows his stuff when it comes to family history. So you and Deb may need to exchange info here and tag team on family history. Lee, do you use the MyHeritage at all, or?
Thus far, I haven't. I've seen it and played with it, but I haven't. It's not where I'm at.
Right, and I know there's you could spend all day just buying different apps and resources for family history and still have time to buy more. But so there's a lot out there. But anyways, cool. Maybe we'll move on to was it Michael that you wanted to dive a little deeper into your app, Michael, and explain the life hacking aspects of it?
Sure. So the app that we have is ldsscriptures.com. We have it for iPhone, iPad, Android, PC, and Mac. And when we first started this, our goal was really to create the most comprehensive scripture study, app that we could. And so we started off even before apps were on the iPhone. We created a web app, and then after that we created the app natively, and then moved on to Android and the desktop. And so the app syncs between all your devices and backs up your markings But then we've added a lot of innovative tools over time that really, for our users, have made a huge difference in being able to really get a lot out of their scripture study. One of our features we added about a year and a half ago was built-in citations, and so a lot of people know about the citation index that was made from BYU.
Yeah, that's awesome.
But what we did was we integrated it right inside the app, and so when you're reading a verse, there's a number right next to the verse, and that shows you how many other resources, which would include general conference talks, manuals, anything like that, how many of those cite that scripture. And so if you just tap that number, it comes up with all of those resources, and you can jump right to them. And so things like that we've done have been really exciting for making really a power scripture study app. There's the church has a free one, of course, but we're really the premium version. Anyone serious about scripture study, this would be the app that they would consider.
Yeah. Now, Michael, do you have, I guess I could go to ldsscripture.com. Do you have any screenshots to kind of get an idea of how it looks and functions? Or
yeah, sure.
Sorry, I know I'm just throwing this at you.
No, you're fine. Yeah, let me just pull up a couple of screenshots here. Give me just a second.
Sure. I had another question about that. One thing I know Devian and I have talked about, apps, scripture apps, and so forth. And there's some that kind of love using apps or reading the scriptures on a mobile device, and others that, like myself, I still haven't been able to make the full jump to that, where when I'm in a Sunday school class or whatnot, I'm on my phone and looking at the scriptures there, just because it's so quick to navigate and you can read the scripture. But when I'm studying, I'm so much more of a visual person, and so I've never been able to fully make that transition to a electronic scriptures, just because sometimes I know that scripture's in Matthew 6. I don't remember what verse it is, so I go to Matthew 6 and flip the pages a few times, and then I find it. So that's kind of, and maybe I don't know if you can speak to that much or how that would, if the format would help in that aspect. But maybe I'll let you break down the screenshots here.
Sure. So if you can see my screen now, there's just a picture here from our App Store screenshots, but when I find myself in Sunday school or priesthood, one of the neatest things besides that citations feature, which is really handy, but is the quick access to the footnotes. And so when the teacher is giving a lesson or something, I will usually get through a whole verse's footnotes in a matter of 10 seconds, just being able to glance at what they're pointing to, and just by tapping on the footnote, it'll open up what's there, and you can go right there and come right back and go to another one and go right back. And so that to me is really useful because it gets me to other points in the scriptures where I might have notes or another thought might come into mind, and so my participation, increases with that. And I love the iPad for church. I actually have the mini iPad now, and the iPad mini is just a great size. It's not too bulky, and the interface is just really great. You can have all these tabs open, and so when a teacher's giving a lesson, you can have the manual open, you can have several different scriptures open at once.
And just jump back and forth as you go.
Right.
And I see the markings on there. I mean, you basically just mark. You can mark in a variety of colors and have a purpose behind each color.
Right. So we have highlighting in various colors. There's bookmarks. There's cross references, and then there's also tags. And so you can tag verses. That's one of the ones that I think our users use the most, is being able to tag. And so, like this verse 3 is tagged with faith and atonement. And if I tapped on atonement, it would show all the other verses that I have tagged with that. And so I could flip really easily to any other scriptures that I have related to that.
Cool. So it's a much more intense use. I mean, there's a lot more. I don't know. It just seems like more real life type. Like you see the ensign there is. It's not just text on a page per se. Is that right?
Right. So we have a PDF library, which almost all of the PDFs that the church provides we include in the app, and it's really elegantly displayed, and you can actually zoom in. So you see the text kind of looks small there, but you can actually zoom in on that page and read things that are smaller. And we recently added this. I think I have a screenshot of it here. Yeah, it's here on the right. It's called Lesson Builder, and I taught seminary for 5 years, and I teach Sunday school. And for preparing lessons, we've created this feature that allows you to really quickly build a lesson with notes, scriptures, pictures from the Gospel Art Kit, even links to videos and other things like that. And you can quickly compile a lesson, and then it saves that lesson. And so, down the road, you'll build up quite a gallery of lessons that you could use later.
Well, that's great. Yeah, you can tell quite a difference from just the LDS Tools free app that that just basically has the scriptures there. Lots of tools, and I like the tags feature. That's great. Cool. Anything else, Michael? Regarding that?
I might just interject, Kurt, in answer to your question. I'm pretty visual too, and so I love that he kind of already demonstrated stuff, but you see all your highlighting and stuff, but you also see your notes, which I maybe use more than the highlighting. You see your notes right in line. Like if I write something about a particular verse, you see it right there next to that verse. And to me, that's huge, because then I can reread what I was thinking last time I read it, and I can add to it or whatever. And so between the two of those, I do pretty good with it. Maybe not quite as easy as what you're saying to visually find something. I always know where it is on the page, usually,
Right.
because I'm that visual. But pretty quickly, usually, scrolling up and down a little bit, I can see a note or a highlight or something like that. I'm still able to find it pretty easily.
Yeah. And that kind of makes it like unlimited margins, where on the the old school scriptures, the physical scriptures, you write stuff in the margins, but you only have so much space. Where this, you can really expound a little bit on notes and so forth. So that's great.
Right. For sure. And one other aspect of the notes is that the notes are all searchable. And so if you were looking for something, a thought that you might have had at one point, but you can't remember where you wrote it down, you can just type in, a keyword, and all of your notes are searchable through the app, and then you'll see right where you wrote it.
Cool. That's great. Well, I'm definitely going to check that out. All right. Anything we're not able to get Mike on, Tevye?
Oh, I sent him a couple of invites, and so far he hasn't been able to get on. I just got him on chat here, so we'll see if he's able to join us in a second here. But I can keep going, and we'll come back to him if he doesn't isn't able to join us. Let me switch back here to my screen. Another of our sponsors is Scripture Power Memorization app, and it's a real cool app that we reviewed here before. This is our review of it, but it just helps you memorize your scriptures, and it kind of helps you with a plan, to make sure and learn those over time, and then to come back to them and make sure that you keep them fresh and stuff. So that's pretty neat. It's iOS only, so I have not used it. I don't have iOS devices. And then our final giveaway was our MyHeritage giveaway. And MyHeritage was our only sponsor on that one. They gave away 2 of their Premium Plus subscriptions for 1 year. And maybe Deb could jump in and tell us just a little bit more about that, because I've never used MyHeritage. They were very gracious to offer those subscriptions for us, but I don't know much about them.
Well, I just kind of started using it. I think the main thing with the Plus is you can, you can build your family history, but with the Plus, the Premium, you can actually go in and it gives you, like other people, if there's something out there that somebody else has built where there might be something that matches, and you can confirm, yes, this is a match to mine, or it's different. So it's kind of a way, it kind of works like Ancestry, I think, but just a little bit different, and it has different colors. And so, but I've just started using it, so I can't say a lot about it.
So it's just a good app for
family history, another
organized family history.
Is it primarily a family tree, if I understand right? And then, but it's very social, so you can connect with others and help contribute to each other's family trees and stuff. Am I understanding that right?
Yeah, correct. Yep.
Okay.
I guess I can speak to it a little bit. I didn't recognize MyHeritage. I didn't realize I was this visual myself. I see the icon, and that's what I click on. I don't even read the words anymore. That's terrible to find that out to this late date. Anyway, I've used it since the beginning of the site, when I was invited as kind of a beta tester early on, and I've used it. I've uploaded some trees, especially trees where I've had dead ends or I've had brick walls on. And I've been able to upload some GEDCOM files to the site, and I've had a number of people match to my data. And when someone matches, you get an information back, or an email to you that tells you that someone has matched to your data, etc. And you can share out, as was mentioned, you can share out through social networking, etc., the information that you're working on. So it's a good site. It works well.
Awesome.
Thanks. It looks like Mike did join us.
Mike, you made it.
Sorry. Yeah, I guess I did get an invite. It just got mixed up with the other ones, and I missed it.
Yeah, it's partly my fault. I accidentally made the other event a Hangout, and so I think some people jumped on it, and it wasn't intended to be an actual Hangout. So my apologies there.
No worries.
Go ahead and tell us about what you do, and
sure.
And we appreciate you being on here, and thanks for sponsoring the giveaway.
Oh, no problem. Well, yeah, I think this is a great resource. When I found you guys on Google+, I thought, yeah, this is something I'm obviously interested in also, and I'm glad you guys have that website. I didn't even know about it. I guess it's been around for a little while. But what I do is I'm an Apple consultant in the area, and I cover kind of the Utah, Salt Lake, Greater Wasatch area. And I have many opportunities to run into clients, customers that I can recommend products like these. Like I love the LDS Scriptures app, by the way. I use that myself and recommend it to people all the time. And just technology in general. I am a ward technology specialist in my ward, but even before that, I just loved helping people, figure out how to get on the LDS.org website, make sure they're getting their pictures uploaded, all that jazz, and just recommend things to people. So I work primarily with the Apple products just in my business, but I appreciate all technology and things LDS.
Great, awesome. I think that's it for the giveaway stuff, Kurt.
Okay. Well, let's. We got one more giveaway that we're doing. Is that right? Or 2 more?
No, well, I think we're gonna bundle it all together for one. It takes me too much work to do 2 more.
Well, let's see here. So maybe Patrick can kind of speak to this next one a little bit. I've got a random side hobby that I do, which is I do caricatures. And I did one of Patrick the other day. Is that right, Patrick?
Yeah, I've actually got it as my profile pic now as well.
Yeah. So one night I was just online and just started picking random people and drawing caricatures of them, and I did one of Patrick, and so you can see it on his kind of his avatar on Google Plus. But basically, I run a website called Draw You Funny, and basically it's a fun way for people, whether they're LDS or not, but to use their family blog to display in their house. And I'll share my screen here. Let's see. Here's here's one of the characters I did of a family, and so we took their blog and we put it into a word cloud, and then I draw their family as caricatures, and then they have this hanging up. I think this family's from Houston, and they have it hanging in their house, and it's kind of fun to see the words that are used most in the blog are obviously bigger than ones that are not, and sometimes you get kind of crazy words, and depending on the word, sometimes we take them out if they're really weird. But nonetheless, it's a fun way for people to display their blog, and everybody loves a caricature in my experience. Or we do other, I put in other words, maybe the family proclamation, or things more specific words they want. And so one of the giveaways we're doing is we're going to give one of these away, a family caricature, and you can just send me the pictures, whoever wins, and then we can do a blog, whatever they want, and as the word cloud, and then we'll draw that up and send it to them. And the way we're going to do it is I'm going to display another picture, and basically I've drawn up a variety of general authorities, and I'm going to use that for another project down the road. But I'm going to show a picture of a general authority I drew, and we can't scream out who it is because this is part of the contest, and people are going to watch this later and so forth. But you have to guess who it is, and if you guess who it is, then we will give further information on Mormon Life Hacker. Make sure I'm saying this right, Tevye. We'll put up another post where you can submit who it is, and then we'll draw one of those people to win the family caricature. All right. Drum roll, please.
Or we'll give you some extra entries in the main one, something like that. We're still working out the details. Yeah. All right. Anybody got a drum roll for us? Okay, you got to talk, Kurt, so the camera will go to you.
Okay. So here's this guy, and I don't know. I think this one's a pretty easy one, but nonetheless, there it is. Okay, so that's the Draw You Funny giveaway that we're doing next. Kind of a fun one. Not much of a hack other than just being fun. But do you want to talk about human galleries, Tevye?
Sure. Yeah. This is done by my brother, who's a photographer and a graphic designer. It's called Helaman Gallery. It's just helamangallery.com. And as you can see here, you can just purchase prints from him. And what he does is typically to buy something like some of these prints, you would go down to Deseret Book or something like that. It might be pre-framed or any number of things like that. And so what he said is, that seems like, a lot of those are awfully expensive when it comes right down to it. And a lot of that cost is just perceived cost. They don't necessarily need to cost that much unless they have, super, handcrafted wood frame or something like that. So here's an example of one of his photos that he did. This is a nice HDR of the Washington, D.C. temple. Anyway, so what he does is he just has them printed and shipped to you directly from the printer, and so it doesn't cost nearly what it would cost if you had it framed or any number of other things. And you get some unique art. Helaman Gallery's just starting up and not well known, so you're probably likely to have some temple art or different things like that nobody else has. And he also does some very nice what do you call them? Like, can't think of the name. Anyway, here's an example. Just
Some quotes and saying.
yeah, quotes and stuff. There's a specific word for laying out words like this, but here's, just one example. So he's got some different stuff like that. Anyway, what we're going to let you do is, we haven't decided on the size yet, but it'll be a decent size. We're going to give away at least one of these, and depending on how well the giveaway goes, how many people share it and stuff, we may give away more or we may up the size. But you'll be able to just come on Helaman Gallery and pick which print you want, whether it's a text one like this that's a quote, or an actual temple photography or something like that. So that's going to be our final giveaway. We're going to combine Draw You Funny and Helaman Gallery and give some people some fairly serious art and some fairly humorous art.
Nothing humorous about a temple, okay, Tevye? Just saying. All right. Any word from Jeff? He was going to get on here and give us a good life hack, but and maybe that's something we could. If he's not, we could postpone it next week. And we've been about 45 minutes now, but
yeah, I think we better do that. I haven't seen or heard anything from him, so we can probably just wrap up here and catch him next time.
Okay. Well, thanks for joining us, everyone, and we'll post this on the Mormon Life Hacker blog, and if anybody else wants to enter to join or enter the giveaways that we have coming up, they can do that there. So, okay, see you later.
Thanks, all. I appreciate you being here. Have a good night.
See ya.
Take care, everyone.
Thanks, guys. Thanks, everyone.